Welcome to the Worst of the RIOT podcast. It's Friday, January 7th is when we recorded all of this.
Not sure if you'll notice, but we've mentioned, at least off air, that it's Friday, and I feel like we're all excited because it's the first Friday of like the new year.
Yeah.
And we're finally to the weekend, so some might be a little bit longer.
Yeah. I think there's, but that also I think that means there's a little
Maybe
extra
people
joy
enjoy
in the show.
that. We're a little bit more amped up.
Yeah. We just had a good time with
A
it.
little bit more nervousness.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anxiousness for getting
yeah.
out of here.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for the week. I'm ready to set the tone for 2022. You know, you really set it like that first weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, like, isn't it this Sunday? For anybody who's single, like this weekend's supposed to be the big,
Some might call it Singles
the big push
Day.
where you're supposed to get a date this weekend to kind of start meeting a special someone in time for Valentine's Day.
I think they call it Dating Sunday.
Dating
That's it.
Sunday.
Yeah.
No pressure though, of course. You know, if you don't have a date on Sunday, it's not the end of the
Well,
world.
by the time you're listening to this, you're already cutting it close.
It could be.
so.
And
Yeah.
it could also be like nap Sunday
Sure
or
could.
Yeah.
staying inside Sunday. So it doesn't have to be anything.
There's all kinds of options.
in
Yeah.
particular.
So we also touched on during the show today how people rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10 attractiveness-wise, and how men, in my opinion, are rating themselves at a pretty low score.
But do you think it's because you're just afraid someone will follow up and say, no, you're nowhere near that
Yeah.
number?
Oh, for sure.
And so you just want to lower the number just in case?
Yeah, you put out like a safe score. If they're like, what would you rate yourself?
Yeah,
and then
but-
you give yourself a score. You're like, I know that I'm this. Like, I might think I'm like a 9 or 10, you know? But I know, like, I think we can agree, like, I'm like a 4. Like, we can all agree on that. And they might even be like, oh, no, I think you're a little higher than a 4. You're like, oh, me? Really?
Yeah, right.
You'd consider me like a 6? Wow.
See, Isaiah, I know that's I think of it a totally different perspective, because if you average out the looks of all men, that would mean the average would be 5. That means if we were all to honestly rate ourselves, the honest average would have to be 5.
I
So
think
that means
people
we're
would-
giving ourselves too much credit.
I think people would honestly be averaging under 5.
You think?
You think?
Yeah, but I think it depends on, like, if you were in school and you thought a C was fine because that, you know, like that was kind of average, no big deal. I think this kind of tracks with this too. Like, if you're fine with being in the middle,
Being average.
with being average, then this isn't a problem. But if you strive for more
Yeah.
and you want to be a 10, but it just depends on how you think of yourself.
I think maybe if you averaged all men and women together.
This was only about men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you average
This
all men
study.
and women together, maybe the average would be 5 because women would rate themselves lower. Maybe they have less self-confidence, and men have more unearned self-confidence. Might be what it is.
I think it's a little bit of everything. You know, that's all across the board. There's people that are overconfident. There's people that are underconfident.
That's why they average out.
Exactly.
to
That's why.
5.
That's why it's right
That's
around
right.
around a
10.
5. So you can listen to that there, and you can hear us. You know, rate ourselves. It's a fantastic time. We kicked off the segment by Hudson saying, "Isaiah, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "Really?" But
Don't act like you weren't ready to rate
I was. I was like, "I'm ready." What? Ask me, please.
He's been waiting for you to ask him.
Yeah, we actually almost didn't even get to talk about that because Hudson wanted to talk about sipping coffee for so long
Yeah.
that we did a
that's
break and a
right.
half on it.
Well, be listening to this podcast if you've not yet started Hawkeye, because
yeah.
Hudson has something he wants to share with you to kind of enhance your viewing of it.
It's not really a spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler at all. That
It's a
said,
ruiner.
It's a ruiner. That's what I was going to say.
You may want to watch the show first and then listen to the podcast.
Sure.
Or just listen to the podcast. And it's more important to listen to the podcast than watch the show, obviously.
Yeah.
So
But
just
find out
listen
what
and
he
not
says.
watch Hawkeye
Yeah.
if that's the option that you so choose.
And then at the very end of the show, like I'll like peel back the curtain on radio, because people ask me all the time. They're like, "Oh yeah, like do you like coordinate what you're gonna say before you go on air and stuff?" And I'm like, "No, everything we say is like just off the top of the head, you know." And they're like, "Oh really?" And it's so off the top of the head that for the very last segment, we were planning on talking about something, and like 20 seconds before we started to talk, I was like, we're not going to talk about that.
He
I have
had
a story.
something else.
I have a story to tell. And it was an embarrassing story from a couple days back where I wanted to test our friendship on the
I thought you
radio
were going to tell
station
me
here.
you got your hair cut and we didn't notice.
No.
I was
Much
like,
more
I
embarrassing.
started looking you over. I was like, what did he change?
Yeah, what's different? Whenever I come in on a Friday and I'm like, well, I want to test our friendship, everyone's like, does he have a different haircut?
Yeah,
Did he do
I
something
love
different
your shirt today.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how a while back Isaiah shaved his arms and none of us noticed?
I
Yeah,
shaved
but
my,
you wear
until
long
he told
sleeves a
us.
I
lot.
shaved my mustache when I was growing out. No one noticed
That's
that either.
True, that's true. That's a little more noticeable, isn't it?
But this one is just an embarrassing no one. I'm happy no one noticed because it was bad. Like,
You're also not supposed to, I think, just throw out that he shaved his arms. I know,
but that was too good, and we were going to talk about it on the show, and then
we never did.
His hair grew back before we remembered
to show more.
Yes.
So you're supposed to shave your arms if you want that.
Hey, let's darn good. If you want,
do you still shave your arms?
They're baby clean right now. I liked it so much that I just kept it around. The winter months are the perfect time, too.
You know why?
Because then it's really just a special thing for me.
That's what makes you a 10.
Yeah, that's what makes me a 10.
In Hudson, that's why you're not.
Yeah,
you hold one of these arms, it's like a baby's bottom.
They want to hold your hand, but they don't. They just want to hold your arms.
Let me hold your wrist.
Well, enjoy the podcast today. There's a lot more in there, so check it out. And thank you guys for listening, and text us at 877-2-RADIO-U to say hi.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I have here a list. This is something you're going to want to keep in mind for the winter weather.
Okay.
This is the stuff that you're supposed to keep, the emergency supplies you're supposed to keep in your car in case you, for some reason, get stranded in a winter storm. I think the timing on this is perfect.
Well,
I'm glad we're getting to this before any big winter storms hit, before anybody gets trapped in their car or anything like that.
Well,
we're making sure everyone is prepared ahead of time. That's the plan here.
He is being sarcastic because you're coming off the week where, I mean, like, these people were spending like 30 hours in their car.
Yeah.
And we are a privileged people to where I don't think we actually understand what it must feel like to be stuck in a car when, you're like, well, no, there's the exit. Like, why can't I get off this freeway?
Yeah.
And to not have food or to have to go to the bathroom outside. Or has anybody gone to the bathroom in their car before? And not have any, water or have to sleep without the heat. I just, that was shocking from this week.
Yeah. Well,
so I know we're supposed to keep stuff in our car just in case.
Absolutely. Now, to be fair, I think that really what happened in Virginia is more of an extreme case where I don't think there's how much emergency supplies can you possibly keep in your car to prepare for being stuck for 20 or 30 hours?
You're like, here's my air mattress, my heater,
my heated blanket,
my porta potty,
my generator, my power generator, my personal Wi-Fi generator, all of that. So here's what you're actually supposed to key provisions that this is AAA, right? AAA knows what to do in an emergency.
So what do they say we should keep in the car?
They say, of course, first and foremost, you should always keep this anyways, right? First aid kit.
Okay.
You don't want to be caught with a boo-boo and no way to bandage it.
In case I need to eat the Neosporin.
Wait, have you done that?
No, just in case you're out of food.
You never tasted
it?
You never it's in that little bottle. It's kind of tasty looking.
No.
No, it hasn't tempted you?
Okay, moving on to the next one.
Phone charger,
That's
which
good.
who does not, right? You got to have a phone charger in your car anyways. Flashlight. That's important.
And it can't be your phone's
No,
flashlight.
it doesn't count.
You're going to drain your battery.
Yeah, but it also says extra batteries for the flashlight, too. You want to have non-perishable food items. This is a big one. They suggest protein bars. Basically, like something that you could eat if you're starving, but not something you're going to be tempted to eat.
Oh, if you're not?
They don't say that, but I think that's what the underlying thing is.
Well, you want something with some substance, too. So I was thinking beef jerky or those meat sticks.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't go bad for a long time either,
Something
right?
besides the bag of chips,
Yeah.
which you would think would be an emergency earlier if you're just stuck in normal traffic.
Yeah, or you're just hungry.
Just hungry.
That's an emergency, too. Let's see, a couple bottles of water. That's important.
Good.
Extra pet food in case you run out of the protein bars.
Sure.
And then shave.
In case your dog is with you.
Oh, yeah. And then you want a shovel or an ice scraper. Now, that's important. You know what I do? What I need to remember to do is you keep one ice scraper in your car, but then you have one right by the door of your house. Because you ever have that thing where your ice scraper is in the car and it snowed, and so you open up the door and it goes like whoosh inside the car. Yeah,
you're
you don't want
ruined.
that. So you got to have one inside the house too, so that you can avoid that. But the shovel's a good idea too, to maybe you'll be able to escape a little quicker than everybody else.
You could save everybody.
If you're the one person with the shovel, then you're going to be stuck there just as long as everybody's going to be like, ooh, help me shovel out.
I hate to be gross, but also because it was just my greatest fear. Because they said people like during the Virginia thing had to just walk to the side to go to the bathroom on the side of the road. You can just, bury all your bathroom stuff. It'd be awful. They say that the biggest thing too is like blankets, extra clothes, hats, scarves, in case you have to sleep in your car for a longer amount of time and you don't have the heat going. That you want to make sure you're set with that, and that your gas tank is topped off before you go on like any trips.
Yeah, we all need to remember that
I do
one.
not want that to happen.
So maybe toilet paper also add to the list.
That is good. And a little shield or something, or blankets to hold around you if you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, maybe just bring a porta potty.
Please don't make me ever have to be stuck in the car for that long.
This is The Riot. Radio U.
So I'm sensing already a theme in today's show. We're just talking a lot of bathroom stuff. Because it was you who brought up the going to the bathroom in the Virginia winter storm when you're stranded in your car.
Well, even that and like the Amtrak train one, always seem to be hearing about this week is people stranded for a really long amount of time. And then everybody's making TikToks and stuff while they're stranded about, like, what do you do when you have to go to the bathroom?
Well, there's just a few simple human things that connect us all, and going to the bathroom is one of them.
And then I'll just need water and
food. It's very
food.
universal. So what we have in Australia is not people having trouble with the bathroom due to winter storms, but in fact due to COVID. You may know that not just in Australia, but in many places around the world, people are trying to get tested for COVID, and it's causing long lines where you're having to wait.
That's the ones where you drive through the testing centers.
Sure.
So it's the long lines of cars of people, and I mean, man, the lines, at least in these videos, look terribly long.
Yeah, and so there's a Facebook group that's been set up. Somebody set up in one location in Australia where everybody can just kind of give each other tips of what to do, of how long the line is at the moment, and how the best practices and situations you can do to make your testing the best it can be. And so some people are sharing their experiences on that group of what's going on there, and basically people are saying one, don't go to the bathroom. I guess some people are saying, don't go to the bathroom in our parking lots. Don't go to the bathroom in our gardens. And other people are saying, hey, there's gardens right over there. This is where you go to the bathroom. Well, there's kind of a conflict there.
So you would be like leaving your car while it's just waiting in line.
Yeah.
And then you would just go use the grassy areas.
Yeah, right.
And they're saying don't do that.
They're saying, the real situation is they're saying that it has not been properly planned how long these lines are going to be. There has been no porta potties or anything set up to appropriately deal with the situation. So people are taking the matters into their own hands of where they decide to go. To
be honest, I mean, they probably can't, because if you potentially have COVID, they don't want you getting out of your car, and they don't want you going in the porta potty. Yeah. Even though I think the porta potty's sickly enough. Yeah, right. To where it probably cancels
COVID's the
out.
least of your worries.
It cancels out anything else.
I like that you brought up, though, it is obviously, I guess because of COVID, it's a situation where you're all waiting in line in your cars. Because otherwise, can you imagine? I mean, I guess if you see somebody get out of their car, they're going
to the bathroom?
Yeah, but I pictured it in my mind as if everybody's just standing in line.
They also have that too problem. They do have that problem because there's many COVID testing sites where you're waiting in line, not even in your car.
So in that scenario, even in the car scenario, you can't. Like, you can only hold it so long.
You have to hold it. There's no other option.
No, there is.
No, there's not.
There's one. You turn to the person behind you. You say, "Hey, can you hold my spot?" And I picture them saying, "Sure. Where you got to go?" And they'll say,
"Nowhere.
I gotta go to the bathroom." And the person says, "Oh, there's a bathroom nearby." And you go, "No."
That's why. Don't follow me.
Or you just got to pop a squat right there. And I don't think. Neither one is a great scenario for me.
So they say that if you're in the car, to bring bags or sealable waterproof stuff for privacy. And if you're standing in line alone, they say good luck to you.
I think if I'm in the line and I have to go to the bathroom and it's to the point where I'm considering using a bag, I'm just going to say I got a positive test.
Hey, man, I'll tell you, I have trained for many road trips of just holding it.
Yeah.
I held it one time all the way to New York City. I will hold it in line, too.
Like 12 hours?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Nothing else was
That's
acceptable.
bad for your body. That's
Doesn't
worse than having
matter.
COVID.
Nope, it's fine. Just add it to the list of whatever's bothering
You're going to
you.
be incontinent one day because of your New York trip.
No, I don't want to pull off anywhere. Just hold it and just think about something else. That'll work.
Take it from Nikki.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
It's The Riot on
Why taking a sip of
RadioU.
your coffee over there? It was just all casual, like, excuse me, I'm not going to
Yeah.
talk to you guys
We
yet.
got
I'm going to take
time.
a sip of my coffee.
We had time.
He was already cutting it close too. You're like, "Are you
was.
ready?" And then he's like, "Yeah, give me like a couple more seconds, I guess."
I only said that because he reached for his coffee.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, no, everybody wants to hear you talk
Oh
now.
no, we're all good.
Yeah, I
Hey, you
shouldn't
know
have
what? I
doubted
think I
you
want
at all.
another one. I think
One more sip. Good morning, Isaiah.
Good morning, everybody.
Which coffee
Can
did you
hear
make
that?
today?
The Mexican spice chocolate.
Nice, it's good.
Can I point out something too, real quick? This is not even what we're going to talk about at all. But talking of coffee and me just making that sound effect, I've been watching Hawkeye. I'm a little behind. I still have a couple episodes to go. But there's one thing in that show that has driven me crazy, although I do enjoy it, like Hawkeye on Disney Plus. For some reason, every time somebody takes a sip of something in that show, it's like super loud.
Little ASMR vibes,
Yeah,
huh?
like whoever was doing the Foley or whatever for the show was like really like, we really got to emphasize the sipping.
Have you ever seen, I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's these breakdowns of all these shows and like important parts in movies where someone who's having a cup of coffee, it's always empty. So they over exaggerate when it's like obvious that there's nothing in the cup.
Yep.
So I think they're just trying to be over obvious of like making it seem like they're drinking something.
Yeah, right. They're going too far.
You think too, like when you're like one of the background people in a movie, like you watch, you're like, "Oh yeah, there's me." But like when someone's like drinking the coffee, like the background sound guy's like, "Oh yeah, there's me."
This is my time to
Here
shine.
I come. Ready?
If not, some people, when they do over exaggerate, they're just like winging the cup around. And you're
Yeah,
like, if
right.
there was coffee in the cup, you could not do that.
It's everywhere.
I was just, I like, a time or two, if somebody sips really loud in the show, that's one thing. But then, like, it kept happening, and I started to think, you don't hear people sip in real life. They don't really make a noise.
I don't
No.
think so.
You
Maybe
don't
the like after.
Yeah, right. But they don't go like it does
Every
in the
time,
show.
and especially like if you're noticing it too, like usually you wouldn't like think about that when you're
Yeah.
watching a show. Like, oh my gosh, they just took a drink. Like you wouldn't even notice that. So it has to be overwhelmingly too much if you're actually noticing it anyway.
And that does
Yeah.
mean the sound guy's like, I want to get noticed.
I want some
Yeah.
shine. He's trying
That's
to get the next
right.
role already.
He probably thinks like, because all those sounds are fake. So he probably thinks he's found like the perfect sound, and he wants everybody to know like this. I've nailed the sound of what it sounds to fake sip something.
Well, coming up for this award season, Hawkeye wins Best Sound Effects.
yeah, right. Best sipping sounds goes to the Hawkeye guy.
I just like that if I was the Hawkeye people, they're like, oh, everybody loves the show. This is great. And then here's Hudson out there going, yeah, but this is the most annoying part. The
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
who sips the cup every time.
to tear it down. But you know what? It's you are not supposed to notice the little things. That's what makes TV great, is you are taken out of the world you're in and transported into another world where it seems so real.
No one sips.
And you know what? There's a lot about Hawkeye, like the unbelievable trick shots with arrows that they can pull off. And I can get past all of that. I can't get past the loud sipping. Totally takes me out of it.
Okay, well,
totally
Isaiah,
unrealistic.
Have you watched any of the Hawkeye?
I have not watched
Now-
a single episode yet.
Look what
You're gonna
you've done,
notice
though.
this. I
You
know.
have spewed your
I know.
poison
Poisoned
with
the
the
well.
show.
Now I
to
can't
you.
even watch it because all I'm going to think about the whole time is, oh, here comes another drink of coffee. Here comes a drink of water
Yeah.
every single time.
You're gonna load. You're loading up every time they pick up a teacup. You're gonna be like, oh man.
I'm like,
It's
here it
coming.
comes.
It's
Here it
coming.
comes.
Hudson. You'll say.
No,
Yes.
why'd you ruin
He's
it?
ruined the show for me, so now I can't even watch it. And for anybody else who was going to watch the show,
Yep.
now we can't watch it without thinking of that.
Well, not only have I ruined that show, I've ruined this show because we didn't talk about what we were supposed to talk about. So let's talk about it next.
Okay, and then until then, if you're around Hudson, just be aware that he's just judging you if you're
Nah,
taking a sip and you
Everybody's
make any
gonna
noise.
sip so loud.
No
around me,
slurping.
aren't they?
That's the rule.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on RadioU.
Okay, I hate to do this, but I was thinking more about the Hawkeye
Here we
thing.
go. Here we go.
And,
We're never going to get to talk about this. We're never going to get there.
What if it's not the sound effects guy? What if it's the director and they're actually, and he or she, I don't know, is coaching the actors
to do this?
And so it's not
The
sound
slurp?
effects. He's like, all right, I really want this time. I really want to hear you sip. I want to know you have a teacup in your hand.
I wanna feel
I really
it.
want to know that, like, everybody should know to, feel it. I want people to be able to feel it in their ears that you're drinking.
Hudson has an issue with the new Hawkeye show that they slurp too much and make too much noise from people drinking during it.
And he's like, cut. You didn't slurp loud enough.
I think
Come on.
You're overthinking it.
Way
I definitely
overthinking.
am.
Way
I definitely
overthinking
am.
it. No
All
one
right.
else has even noticed this except for Hudson. He's
All
the
right.
only one.
You know what? Cut.
Yeah, okay.
Cut and
what's
start
your-
over. It is the Riot on RadioU. Isaiah, you're a man, right? Would you consider yourself a man? Or
I
more
consider
of a boy?
myself a man, yeah.
You're not a boy?
No longer a boy.
Okay.
I am a full-fledged man.
This is a big question. Rate your attractiveness on a scale from 1 to 10.
Well, that seems kind of messed up to do live on air. I give myself a 10. No,
Are you
I'm
not
joking.
supposed to rate yourself?
You're not supposed to rate yourself. No, you're not supposed to rate yourself.
Why not?
Because it's not a true reflection of yourself. Everybody, you don't even see what you actually look like. You know,
Yeah,
when you look
but
in the mirror, you don't even see yourself.
it
You don't even know what you
reflects-
look like.
It reflects a
Well,
combination
you
of
do,
your...
but do you mean like emotionally? and,
Yeah,
like,
the full
truly?
thing.
Yeah.
Like, I look at Hudson right now, and when he looks at himself in the mirror,
Yeah.
that's not what he sees. You know, everybody sees something different. And so when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, dang, I look good today. And then I walk in, you guys are like, whoa, Isaiah, rough morning.
he's like 10.
Yeah.
I look at myself in the mirror and I think Kevin Smith.
Oh,
100%.
no. Actually,
That's all I can think now.
it's not you when you look at the mirror. It's when everybody looks at
else
you.
is
Yeah.
seeing.
And then
Yeah,
you
so
see
I'm
that.
aligning what I see. But no, I think rating yourself publicly, it shows a combination of your confidence and your self-awareness. And your confidence and self-awareness should meet somewhere in the middle, and that will be your personal attractiveness rating. But we have a poll here commissioned by Super Drug Online Doctor. So
I think Superdrug is like a pharmacy store.
yeah, it sounds like
like
it.
in the UK.
But it does also sound super sketchy.
Yes,
at
it
the same
does.
time.
Super drug.
Yeah.
Super drug.
And so they asked a bunch of men how they would rate their own attractiveness. And I'll tell you that the average man, so across all of the ratings, the average man gives himself a 5.9
out of 10?
out of 10. So that's above average.
That's above average. If you're above a 5'9",
The
Okay.
average man thinks he's better than average.
Well, you can't be a 10 like Isaiah every day.
No.
Well,
not
listen,
everyone can be an
That was
Isaiah.
a joke. I wouldn't rate myself a 10. That'd be so disrespectful if I rated myself a 10. But
Right,
I
you should
would
rate
rate
yourself
myself.
much higher.
I would rate myself above a 5.9. So
You
I do.
would?
Yes, I would rate
So
myself
you
above
think,
a 5.9.
you think you're above average.
I think I'm above
You're
a
not
5.
just a- you're not just above
5.9
average,
is a
you're
low
above the
rating.
average.
That's a low rating. 5.9. I feel like that's a lower rating. So I feel like guys rate themselves low sometimes.
You think they're not cutting themselves
yeah.
But if the scale is 1 to 10, then 5 should be the average.
No, that's not
And
average.
half of men should be lower than a 5. Maybe I'm lower than a 5. Maybe
Well,
I should admit that.
you
But my
haven't said-
confidence is high, sky high. So that brings up.
I might be a 5, but gosh darn it, I feel like a 9.
I'm more than a 10. So wait, what number would you give?
For myself?
Yeah.
See, I think, like, if in my Kevin Smith body, I guess I'm like a 4.
What?
But.
And don't feel bad. You're just slightly under average.
Yeah,
So
I don't
it's
know.
not
I don't know.
bad.
I know. I want to be. If I'm super like self-reflective about it, I know I need to lose my gut. I've got a paunch going on.
You're fine.
And I don't have a great haircut. But other than that, I think I'm.
Hey,
I
you
think
got
I'm
good
mostly
hair.
okay.
Hair. What
Yeah.
are you saying?
You got good
Yeah,
hair.
but it's not. I got good hair. I don't have a good haircut.
Okay, that's on you because
this-
you're lazy.
yeah, right.
Hudson made this segment just so he could rate himself low, so we'd hype him up. He's like, yeah, I'd probably give myself like a 4. Me and Nick are like, no, you're higher than a 4, Hudson. You are.
Well, they say that in this study that the mirror is the biggest enemy that you guys might have in your homes because 40% say that looking in the mirror is the top cause of your body insecurity issues.
Yeah, I think it's
Then
funny how they.
health and social media follow. So
They make it seem like, the average man, like all of these men they surveyed, the average rating was 5.9, which is, again, that's higher than a 5. That means the average man sees himself as above average. And yet they're saying, like, how can men be, like, they're not confident at all? They have these body issues. It's like, yeah, we all think we look pretty good, evidently.
Yeah, I think so. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So it doesn't matter what you think you are. It's what she thinks you are.
We can all be a 5.9 to somebody, right?
Exactly.
So for men, they say that what's like attractive, usually it's the superhero body type sort of thing.
That's
so
the
with
perception,
that,
right?
The perception is Captain America is the hottest, followed by the Batman body type, Thor, Superman, and then Wolverine.
Gotcha. So if you go to RadioU Riot on Facebook, you can see that. If you look at me and Hudson, you can check that out there.
The Captain America.
The Captain America.
I just hide mine behind the baggy hockey jerseys.
Yeah.
Well,
It's my
we can't have
strategy.
too much attractiveness.
Yeah, I don't want to make everybody else feel. I don't want to lower the rating, other people's rating by
Yes, that
seeing
makes
me
sense.
and comparing themselves. So.
You're so attractive on the outside and the inside too, right there. Look at that.
Yes, that's totally right.
You guys feel good enough now?
Oh, we feel great.
Okay, just don't look in the mirror no
The
more.
Riot's like a 5'9". We're a 5'9" kind of group.
We average out.
Just perfect.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, Nikki, we love free stuff, right?
We do. Who doesn't?
Have you ever heard of the Chick-fil-A Black Card?
I've heard of like the credit card, black card one.
Yeah, like
the
American Express.
The one where like you have to be super wealthy to be offered it.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know Chick-fil-A has one.
Chick-fil-A, I think it's along the same lines. It's if you're super wealthy in the eyes of Chick-fil-A, for whatever reason, they will offer you the Chick-fil-A Black Card. Apparently, it's been rumored and talked about on the internet for a while, but nobody really knew how you could get one.
Is it a credit card or is it like a rewards card?
I think it's like a rewards card, and maybe you just like flash it. You flash it when you go into Chick-fil-A, and they're like, "We got you. This one's on the house."
You actually, if you're so well known, you shouldn't even have to flash it.
Yeah, right.
But I think Chipotle and a few other places have like it's just this card where you get free stuff.
Yeah, but they have to offer it to you. And so I don't know if you've seen this woman who has acquired a Chick-fil-A Black Card. And so she went viral on TikTok, and it looks like has since, for whatever reason, deleted the videos on TikTok.
Too
So
many
I don't
people
know.
Chick-fil-A
Yeah,
got
the word has
mad.
gotten out.
You get one free meal per day if you have the Chick-fil-A Black Card.
Yeah.
So you get privileges with it.
Yeah, you get one free meal per day, whatever you want, I would think, at Chick-fil-A. But the only way to get it, this is according to this person on TikTok. I know.
We can get it.
I know. She said, if you are, she says, an influencer like a radio DJ.
That's us.
Hey! Or
Hey!
a TV anchor, an athlete. Basically, there is a VIP Chick-fil-A party. She says it happens in Houston where a few people get chosen to get invited. They get to get some free food, receive their black card, and dance with the cows.
Wow, what a party, right?
You think that's real? You think she's telling the truth? She took down the videos. You think that's really what happens? There's like an underground Chick-fil-A party every year?
I bet you there's something. I don't know about the, party part.
Yeah.
But I bet there's some way to
Is this
get one of these VIP cards.
Like an invite that you just don't turn down. It's not like, sorry, I've got something else going on this weekend. Like if you get the Chick-fil-A VIP party invite, you go, because otherwise you don't get your black card.
Well, I don't want to go to the party though, but I want the black card.
Yeah, the party
so
doesn't sound that great, actually.
That's remember we don't
Us around a bunch of other radio
we don't
DJs.
like that. No, we don't.
No, we don't want that. But this,
I like the person's comment. They're like, "What does it feel like to be God's favorite?"
yeah, right. Oh man, that's what it would be, wouldn't it? So, okay, here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we're radio DJs. One day we get the Chick-fil-A Black Card. One day we're so fortunate. You can get one free Chick-fil-A meal per day.
What would it be?
No, who cares? It's chicken, fries.
I want a #1 combo with the waffle fries and a large Diet Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, okay.
That's my order.
But what I want to know is how often are you going?
Yeah,
Truly.
that's the problem because I get super embarrassed and especially we are DJs, so we do get noticed, and believe it or not, we get noticed most frequently at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, really?
So, yeah,
For you,
all the time.
I'll admit, and maybe this makes me less likely to get the black card. I don't go to Chick-fil-A that often.
Not too much.
As much as I do enjoy it, I just don't get to it.
I do, and they're always like, Nikki! They're like, yes, it's me. So I don't know if I would feel comfortable going every day.
Yeah,
but
well,
I'm also not getting a free meal every day, so maybe I would.
I wonder if you went to Chick-fil-A every day. I always wonder about this. Maybe not always. Okay, I wonder about this frequently. If you had somewhere where you could go for free to get your food, would the employees that get to know you and know you're always getting your free food there every day, would they be like, so what is the radio like not paying you very much, or like
no,
are you falling on hard times? Is
cord.
the only way you can eat, and or they're just like, man, this guy really likes Chick-fil-A, which is what I would be.
They know that you have the black card.
Yeah,
and we have enough in our area. You could rotate.
Yeah, we could, but that's really the reason I don't go is that it's not convenient. None of them are convenient. They're not on my way to or from things.
You mean the one right down the road?
Yeah, but I don't never drive over there.
Go that way?
No, I don't. It's not off of a major highway exit that I take. So.
You mean the one right off the major highway?
It's not convenient.
It's
not convenient.
Oh my gosh.
I would have to, if I got the Chick-fil-A black card, I would have to actually move. So that Chick-fil-A would be on my way.
Next time, if you go to Chick-fil-A and you see Hudson, make sure you go, "Hi, Hudson."
Yeah, right.
Good to see you here.
Please point me out.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We're getting into the weekend here, which means we get to look forward to some football. I think this weekend, college football is done, but for
Monday, right?
Yeah, for the real national championship game on Monday. So that's not even on the weekend. And for the NFL, it's the last week of the regular season, which is actually really probably the least exciting because so many teams have either locked up their playoff spots.
So it's already decided. So it's just kind of
a lot of it's decided. There's a couple like teams that are still on like the brink where they could get in.
Sure.
But for a lot of teams, the season's over. Pretty much.
Either they're in or they're out. So with that being the case, there's a lot of games that don't mean a whole lot, and the NFL.
To them, it does.
Well, that's the thing.
No.
It doesn't. Sometimes it even doesn't to them, though.
Is it kind of like when in college football they don't want to play the bowl game because they don't want to
Pretty
get
much.
hurt?
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
pretty much. So for the NFL, for Sunday Night Football, the last game of the regular season, they always try to make that game as important as that can be. They will move a different game to Sunday night so that it can be a game that actually will really mean something, right? Where both teams are motivated because they want to make the playoffs or because they want to win the division or something like that. So for this Sunday Night Football, they thought they did that, or at least they did the best they could. They've got the Las Vegas Raiders playing the, I've got to be careful here, Los Angeles Chargers. They're not the Oakland Raiders and San Diego Chargers anymore. Haven't been for years. I need to get on that. So they
I think it's time.
theoretically are playing for the final playoff spot in the AFC.
So this game means something.
It should mean something. However, if things go a little off script earlier in the day, that could lead to the Los Angeles Chargers and Las Vegas Raiders into a scenario where it would benefit both teams for them to intentionally tie.
Can you intentionally tie? Or
You
just
sure
not
can.
score?
If both teams agreed, they could just kneel the ball down for the entire 70 minutes of the game.
That would be incredible.
That would be
Nothing
amazing.
would make me happier than that
Actually,
right there.
It'd be kind of fun to watch that.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Frustrating to a lot of people, but fun.
It would be fun for a few minutes.
Yeah, not the whole game.
But then you get excited like every play. Are they actually going to try to run it this time?
Are they going to fake it?
Oh,
Yeah.
they're sitting down. They're kneeling then.
Yeah.
It's
So,
fine.
Another knee.
So what we need to watch out for is if the Indianapolis Colts get upset by
On
the
Sunday,
Jacksonville
earlier in the
Jaguars.
day.
Yep,
Oh, no.
By the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
That would lead to the scenario, and the Steelers beat the Ravens. That would lead to the scenario where for the Raiders and the Chargers, they could just agree to a tie, and it would mean that both of them make the playoffs.
darn it.
Can one of you guys write that down? Because I get what you were saying, but I just need to know who I should be going for.
I just know now that you say what needs to happen, I just know that it can't happen. I know the
Why do you say
Jaguars.
that?
The Jaguars aren't going to beat the Colts.
I know that you say that, Isaiah, but what
But
if I
what
told
if?
you? What if I told you the Indianapolis Colts have not beaten the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville, which is where they're playing, haven't beaten them there since 2014.
Wait a minute.
And they play them every year.
If the Colts lose to the Jaguars and the Chargers and the Raiders tie, are the Colts out of the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay, we're cheering for the Chargers. We're cheering for the Raiders, and we're cheering for the Jags.
And yes.
Not a Colts fan here.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Colts.
All right, I see, guys. There's a lot we have to remember. I'm ready for football to be over.
If the Colts lose,
this is a lot.
They're really out anyways. And the Jaguars have beaten them. I guess that would be 7 consecutive times in Jacksonville.
So,
but
it's Trevor Lawrence time, baby.
Yeah, right.
Now we're talking. Now I have something to cheer for on Sunday because my Browns have already let me down. We're Jaguars fans on Sunday.
So if you're saying like the most amazing scenario would be if they took a knee for like 70 minutes, so they couldn't get fined or anything.
Oh no, they probably get really if they did it in that fashion. If they play like generally a regular game, but both teams kind of are like, if we tie, it's not a big deal. That kind of could lead to a tie. But then again, even they kind of would have to agree at some point in the game. Maybe it wouldn't be until they got all the way to overtime.
Sure.
But there'd have to be a point where they agreed. If they agree before the game,
then that's kind of cheating.
that would be basically collusion, and there would probably be some kind of fines and suspensions, and maybe even kicked out of the leagues handed out there.
Well, if not, they're just walking the ball or something.
Yeah, right.
No one's running it.
Why did he go out of bounds there? He tripped. What did he trip? There's nothing there.
So I guess on Sunday there's a lot to see if all those ducks line up.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Now we're
unlikely.
talking. I'm
it's
excited.
unlikely, but I don't know. I know Isaiah's not on this page. I kind of want the Jaguars to win just so the Steelers can make the playoffs.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be a lot of fun to see Big Ben take one more run.
It'd be a lot of
fun
to
to
see Big Ben play. No.
Hey, come on now.
No.
All right, everybody.
No
don't argue.
Steelers.
Come on. The Browns the Browns aren't going anywhere. They'll be in the league next year. Big Ben won't.
No, listen.
So let him have one more
We're
time.
cheering against the
What did
Steelers
you
no
call
matter
Big
what.
Ben the other day?
Doughboy, is that what we call
He's a
him?
little doughy, yeah.
He's a little doughy.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We have a Reddit thread going here that ties into our theme today of bathroom-related stuff. For some reason, that's come up several times, and just not being able to hold it any longer.
No, it's not that. It's more just like in the last week, there has been a lot of very big news, like on problems of being stuck in cars with weather or stuck on trains or in these lines for like COVID testing, and bathrooms are not provided or you're stuck somewhere. And so that's why it's just been in the news this week.
Yeah, well, this has nothing to do with COVID. It has nothing to do with being not really being due to stuck somewhere. But we have a woman here. She says she has diabetes.
Yeah.
And one of the things with diabetes, it actually can cause like frequent urges to go because of how it makes your kidneys function. It kind of puts some extra strain on them.
And they're saying medicine that she's on too.
Yeah, right. And then on that note, though, she is going out with somebody who has irritable bowel syndrome, according to her.
She does or someone else?
No, she has diabetes. Her partner has irritable bowel syndrome. That's how she tells the story. So the story goes, she and her partner, they're in an apartment, I guess, where they have one bathroom.
Yeah.
The irritable bowel syndrome partner, he's been in the bathroom for 40 minutes or longer.
Wow.
And
Okay,
so
now I won't.
those
I
are
don't
some
know.
irritated bowels right there.
That's a moment. So you're saying the bathroom is occupied.
The one bathroom is occupied. So that's 40 minutes. She knocks on the door at the 40-minute mark, which she's been keeping track.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
hey, if you have to go and the person's been in it for that long, you're keeping track.
yeah, so 40 minutes in, she knocks and says, I need to go to the bathroom. He, I guess, says, not right now. 20 minutes minutes later, she said she tried again. So she held it an additional 20 minutes.
Sure.
The boyfriend in the bathroom says he cannot leave the bathroom.
Jeez.
So now we're at an hour.
This is where we're at.
This is an hour. 15 minutes more. An hour and 15 minutes into the situation, she said it really started to hurt to the point where she had to pee so bad.
Sure.
And so she, I guess she's not getting into the bathroom. Her irritable bowel boyfriend is not getting out. So what she does, they have cats. She goes to the litter pan.
The litter box?
And she goes to the litter box, and she goes to the bathroom in the litter box.
Well, why is she telling this? I know she's on a Reddit forum.
Yeah, what she's saying is she the problem, actually? Is she the issue?
I think the relationship's the issue.
I think it is. I think there's a lot of
compatible.
Yeah. And it could be that your medical conditions aren't compatible. It could be that that maybe your personalities aren't. Yeah, right. I mean, that's the obvious solution. But I don't know. I have a family member with Crohn's disease, so I know that's another one that affects your bathroom habits, and it can be very, very bad. So I would like to give the benefit of the doubt to the irritable bowel boyfriend. But I mean, how you're in the bathroom for an hour? You can't take a break? You can't take a breather?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it, but I just know that I don't think it'd be very hard to use the litter box as a non-cat.
She said she figured the cats wouldn't mind.
I just can't. I mean, because it's medical.
Yeah.
I think I'm being more accepting than if this was not a medical thing. And you just had to, on your own.
Yeah.
Without having all these conditions.
Yeah. So here's where I really start to.
Does it get worse?
It does, because once the boyfriend finally emerged from the bathroom, she told him what happened. And, she could have just not, I guess. But she did. She admitted what she did. And the boyfriend was very disgusted by that.
He has no room to speak.
Yeah, right?
No
You'd think of all people, which is what makes me think maybe, I don't know. I don't want to question his irritable bowel syndrome, but how do we know he has irritable bowel syndrome?
Well,
he's just hiding in the bathroom.
Next time he can use that.
Yeah, right?
Use the litter box. Yeah, I think you need a 2-bedroom or a 2-bathroom apartment. Or you need to maybe not be together.
It's time to reevaluate. It's a new year. You need to take a new look at things.
A new relationship or a new move.
Yeah. But either way, she's not the problem.
No, that's
Reddit seems to side with her in this situation.
She tried. An hour and 15 minutes is a long time to wait.
I wouldn't have made it that long.
But I would not have told anybody.
No. And there's other places I would have gone before the litter pan, too, if it's me.
Sure.
I'm not going to list them, but there's other places.
The Riot Podcast.
The Consumer Electronics Show has been going on, CES.
You're right. That means in the news will be a lot of electronic news.
Yeah.
Not necessarily things that are... Not all of it's things in the wild yet, but it's just the cool new gadgets that they're starting to prototype, or it's too expensive for us to buy yet, but it'll be out soon.
But stuff they want to get you interested in. Well, I've got, Nikki, you're a cat owner.
I have Mochi, my one cat. It's a ragdoll Himalayan.
Yeah.
Most handsomest cat ever.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
Can people find pictures of Mochi on your Instagram?
Yeah, if you go to RadioU Official.
You have to scroll a little bit?
You have to request a friendship first.
Oh, yeah.
But you can see Mochi there.
Why don't you just make Mochi his own Instagram?
My dogs have one, and so every so often, but
he
then
pops up on there.
He does, but I also forget to post on theirs. So. It's easier on my personal one.
As a cat owner, there may be some things at the Consumer Electronics Show that may appeal to you. This is from a pet tech company called Persong. Like a cat song. And they've announced a few new products that will track your cat's health.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, so you can use their water dispenser that will track how much water your cat is drinking.
That's good.
You can make sure your cat's staying hydrated enough.
That's a sore subject for me because I bought one of these fountains. It's a water fountain for my cat. And I think he became dehydrated because he refused to drink out of it. And so I had to buy him a different one. He doesn't want a fountain.
As soon as you said sore subject, I thought you were going to say, because I made fun of you for wanting to buy a water bottle for yourself that tracks your water. So think about how much I would make fun of you if you bought one for your cat.
I buy water bottles for me, and I have no problem putting money into my pets.
Yeah.
But he was like, no way. So I had to buy, and now I'm super sensitive if it doesn't look like he's drinking enough. Because I got this modern water food set thing. Yeah. And I'm just still trying to figure out if he likes it enough.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should
He might just want, I have these red Solo cups, like the party cups. He'll drink out of that.
Just keep that simple,
I might just put it out.
Yeah. Well, he's a cat who likes to party. What can you say?
Yes, that's right.
Let's see. They also have a litter box that will track your cat's weight and bathroom habits.
All right.
And an activity tracker, I guess like a Fitbit that can track your cat's movement and sleep patterns. So, now, it's not enough for you to for you to constantly be tracking and monitoring your own health,
You gotta do it
your
for
own
your
water
pets.
consumption, your own bathroom habits, your own weight. That's not enough to worry about. You also need to worry about your cat
Well,
because it's not doing well enough.
Sometimes we don't do anything for ourselves, but we will for the pets that we have. We'll spend a lot of money on our cats and dogs.
Well, it's easier to kind of control and engineer someone else's life than it is to take care of your own, isn't it?
Oh, that's deep.
It's a hard look in the mirror, isn't it?
Let's not bring that up.
Yeah,
again.
we don't want to track her for our own personal habits.
Let's just focus back on Mochi. Will you please just go and use the water fountain that I bought you because it's really cute?
Yeah, come on.
I spent a lot of money. I can't return it.
Yeah.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. Radio U.
You know, if you go to Las Vegas, that's the place to get married, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's if you ask Las Vegas, they'll say they have a lot more to offer.
Yeah. Oh, they do. But that's just an added bonus of going to Las Vegas.
Well, I don't know if you go to Las Vegas because of what else they have to offer, does that lead to
you to
you
get married?
accidentally getting married?
Yeah.
So maybe.
I think this woman, she had Las Vegas in mind for when she wanted to get married because, they'll let you get married quick.
Mm-hmm.
They'll let you marry. They'll let anybody marry you. Like an Elvis impersonator can preside over the wedding.
Maybe you don't need as many documents as in other
let me
states.
just make it simpler. And evidently, they'll just let you marry not just anybody. They'll let you marry anything.
Uh-oh. What did this person marry?
We have a woman who went to Las Vegas on New Year's Day to get married to the color pink.
Oh, she likes pink?
No, she loves pink.
Oh,
she
you're
loves
right.
it. If you love it that much, why don't you marry it? Probably
She
somebody told
did.
her when she was a child. And she's like, fine, I will. And now, all these years later, she's been dating pink for 40 years, the color pink.
Aww.
And finally, they tied the knot on New Year's Day. The woman's name is Kitten K. Sarah, which is that's red flag, right? Pink flag right there.
Yeah, not red.
And she said she is the pinkest person in the world. She's been in a relationship with Pink for 4 decades.
Mm-hmm.
And she thought, what better time than January 1st, 2022 to really make it official, to make sure Pink is committing to her. You know?
See, I think when watching and looking at her social media with it, there's these two types when it comes to the people marrying things.
Yeah.
Because we talked about the Australian guy who married like the doll, and then there's the person who married
Not
like,
legally.
the bridge. Like, oh yeah, I wanted to. I think this kind of falls under this is her persona. This is her social media life. And she's kind of doing it with that. Again, there's the other side where like it's here's the show on the person who does
maybe
want to
has
marry
some
the
psychological
bridge.
issues.
This
and
person's just
I don't
having
know.
fun.
She might have psychological issues too. You know, I don't want to write anything off. She is marrying the color pink, whether it's for social media or not. That's still problematic in my mind.
I just was thinking I'm not as worried about this one as I am about some of the other ones.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, she's healthy in other aspects of her life.
She just likes pink.
She really likes pink, and of course, you look at all the wedding attire, everything that she did for this wedding. Obviously, pink was the theme. That'd be great if she, like her and Pink, the color pink, got together. They discussed, like, I think we'd like to have a nice blue and silver combo. I think that would look really, really fetching for, the wedding, the dress and everything. But no, she's, of course, pink wedding dress, pink balloons, pink car that they rode off in, pink cake. I mean, what else would you expect?
The only thing they don't cover is how much everything costs.
Yeah, right. Well, it probably all the social media influencing she can do with it pays for itself.
Some of it might have
all
been
the publicity.
free.
Yeah, right. Maybe it's all written off and whatever. So,
well, congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, right. To her and the happy color.
Yeah.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
See, on Fridays, what I like to end the show with is, just like, it's kind of like a friendship test, We've done this a couple times in the past, and, like, you're a true friend to someone when, like, they have food on their face and you would, like, tell them, right? And so yesterday, After like 4 hours of work, I realized that I had my zipper down for the entire morning. For the entire morning, because I have this one pair of jeans that I have.
Yeah.
Where
Do they
like
have a bad zipper?
the zipper's bad on them, and so sometimes like I don't even know how I don't zip it up because they're bad. But apparently I didn't zip it up, and I knew for a fact exactly when I went to the bathroom in the morning was like at like 7 a.m. And then the next time I went to the bathroom was at like 11, and I walked in there, and then I retraced my whole day. Yeah. I'm like, well, who did I see yesterday? I saw Nikki. I saw Hudson. I talked to Michael. I'm like, and I'm going through everybody that I talked to. I'm like, dang, either nobody noticed.
No one told you?
Or they're just like, we're going to have to let this one roll. We're going to have to let this go. Isaiah's been doing it all morning.
I don't know. I feel
it's
like
the rounds.
Should we consult the handbook? Like, do you
I
just
know.
let it go?
Yeah, what is
one of those
the
things?
protocol on this? I will say, first, for starters, my jeans are the exact same way. It's a bad zipper. I know for a fact that I zip it up, and sometimes I think it's just the way you sit or something.
Yep.
The zipper will undo itself. I've had the same issue. And I've
why
never
don't
thought
you
about
guys
everybody
be-
not telling me that it's down
You
because
should
I know
be
that that's happened too.
accountability partners.
We
with
Should
need
we?
that.
Do we just need to like
Every time Hudson
once in a-
walks by, I do a quick check. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're good.
Yeah.
Keep on walking. You're good.
If it makes you feel better, I went to a business yesterday after work, and I had a cookie, and I had cookie on my shirt.
No.
And I came home, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Arguably, that's more embarrassing.
Yes.
It was like right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's
I will-
obviously cookie.
I will let you know also, Isaiah, I did not notice
Did
that
not
you had
notice.
an issue. And I want to ask you, because again, I've had the same issue. Would you prefer people to point it out?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You would?
And how?
I would.
Because I've always heard, like, what's the phrase? The barn door.
Barn door's open.
Is that what we want? Or
I
do
think
we want something
now that we've
else?
addressed it, I think we just need to say, like, it's down again.
Yeah.
The Thursday, Isaiah.
I'm-
It's 3 days in a row now.
Now that we have brought it up, I think
Change your
I think
pants.
we can be accountability partners since we have similar issues. But honestly, I prefer if people don't point it out.
Just
normally.
No.
Yeah, I don't
You
want
let
to
it
know.
roll?
I'll just let it roll.
Oh, no, I'd rather be told. I'd rather than be like, Isaiah, what are we doing? Come on now. Let's clean it up here. We're at work. We're at work now.
It's a professional. Okay,
Yeah.
so all
You know,
right.
I've had it's happened to me once before here at work. It was Chris. He said XYZ, and I was like, "What?
What?
Examine your zipper."
Oh, man.
So that could be the code word too. I don't know.
So
I don't know if you want to go.
I
with
sat
that.
in my office for a couple minutes yesterday, walking through my day, and I'm like, dang, I wonder if anybody noticed. Or they were like,
Yeah.
it's one of those awkward things too. Like, do I say it? And you're like, let it go. But then when you see them again, you're like, it's still down.
Yeah,
I should have told
Actually,
them.
that's a good point. If you see him twice,
Second time, you gotta say
zipper
something.
down once, shame on me. Zipper
Zipper
down
down
twice,
twice.
shame on you.
Well,
And
Yep.
also, if you're around us, tell Isaiah, but don't tell Hudson. He doesn't care.
No,
Yeah.
I care. I'm more embarrassed if you notice and tell me than if I just
Aw.
notice on my own. Because then I can talk myself into nobody noticed.
They did.
They always notice.
Sorry, Isaiah.
They always notice.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.